Hello, it is I, Dr. Brian Lorgon 111, coming at you with rare post-commentary. This is pre-recorded footage, and now you're hearing my voice after the fact. I am once again on seed 001141, the same seed that we discovered in the previous episode, and I've been practicing a bit off-camera. I probably played this seed, I don't know, like 20-something times. Probably 10 of them I died very quickly in like or took damage in one of the first few levels and decided just to restart. And in like the dozen that went pretty well, probably 9 of them I died to Olmec. I'm robbing the shop and killing the shopkeeper, by the way, right there, because I did actually spend a bit of time experimenting with trying to do shopkeeper forgiveness. It is possible to get forgiven on this seed, but it's difficult. I can steal the jetpack and get past the shopkeeper, who's going to be on this next level that we'll see in just a moment right over there. But there's another shopkeeper at the end of this level who always dies because there is a... That was lucky. By the way, the shopkeeper just ended up sacrificing himself on Kali's altar. So that was like a little bonus. And usually the shopkeeper takes the arrow, and so I got surprised when I forgot about the arrow trap still being sprung there. What was I saying? Right. There's a shopkeeper at the end of this level who always dies to a one of those punchy traps. And so it's very hard to get forgiven as a result of that. And so I finally decided it's easier just to steal the jetpack and deal with all the shopkeepers. So after making that decision and switching to fighting all the shopkeepers, I was able to get good at getting to Olmec, and then got a lot of practice fighting like Olmec 2 and Olmec 3 in order to get to the Ankh, because there was a thing I really wanted to test with the Ankh that I think I mentioned in the previous episode, but we'll eventually get there. What are some other things to talk about while I'm doing this? Most of this episode we're going to see in real time. Olmec I'm going to end up fast forwarding because I'm still very bad, very slow, leave something to be desired when it comes to fighting Olmec. I noticed when I was trying to stomp the horned lizard that I'd forgotten to pick up the spike boots and the extra bombs out of the shop, so I just went back for that and then was trying to collect some blood. But we've seen those first 2 levels a few times already in the previous episode. Quillback I've got down to a science at this point. So basically I shoot over here just in case there's a skeleton key that appears. We try to gather some blood from the bats. We check out where Quillback is, but he's not yet over to where the jungle is, so we make sure that there isn't a skeleton key over there to kill a little bit at the time. Then we just have to get on the left side of Quillback. We will shoot him to get him rolling over toward the jungle, possibly collecting a little bit of blood, and then we'll shoot him again and try to collect some more blood, as well as the turkey. Then we'll get some blood from the bat, who's hiding behind the little tarp in the upper left of that area. Then we need to go down here and deal with the shopkeeper to make sure that things are nice and safe. We can also kill this guy and collect some ropes out of this crate. Shopkeeper is pretty easy to deal with, just get him angry, get him running over in one direction. And then if I'm lucky, I can run over there and get a little bit of his blood, and in that case I did, because I just heard my health go up from 6 to 7. Makes a little bloop 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 sound whenever you get an extra heart from collecting the blood. Then I leave the shotgun there, because now I'm going to go back for Damsel Doggy, who I usually try to whip twice. I think in this particular run I only remembered to whip him once at the beginning. But basically I'm trying to build up my health as much as possible. This despite the fact that, as an aside, when I'm running out of jetpack fuel, you can actually hear the jetpack running out of fuel, and so there's like an audio cue, as well as the jetpack starting to fire a little bit sporadically right before it runs out of fuel, which is useful, and I don't know that I really realized it until doing a bunch of these runs. Yeah, I've been trying to get as much health as I can via the Kapala and damsels, completely ignoring money, as you might notice, by the way. Despite the fact that the health doesn't necessarily help. Something interesting here, when I was doing the runs where I was trying to do shopkeeper forgiveness, as a result of stealing the jetpack, this level generates slightly differently and slightly more difficultly, because Sparrow has to appear. She's the one who says, oh, you managed to, rob shops or something, but can you rob Tusk? Or something like that, and gives you some ropes. So Sparrow is someone I still have to discover, because it seems like there's more to her story, perhaps. But that's for another time. In any case, the 2-1 that's here, when Sparrow is not here, it seems like there's fewer enemies and bad spots, as well as the terrain generation just being a bit different. So that was another thing that convinced me to go onto the robbing shopkeepers in order to do this run, rather than trying to get forgiven by the shopkeepers. I also discovered this spider is very useful for killing the shopkeeper, so that I don't have to worry about it. Spider is actually quite good. Watch this. Boom, 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 boom. Shopkeeper dead. Terrific. And then sometimes I can still get some blood out of the spider. I just managed to get another heart of life over there. And then there's a damsel and another thing with some more blood over here. And so we whip the damsel once. We go ahead and collect some blood from the big plant. We whip the damsel a second time, and then we save the damsel so that we can get the heart from the damsel over there. And I'm already up to 14 hearts now, which is super terrific. Yeah, and then over here we immediately bomb. The mosquito sees us through the bushes. We can collect some of his blood. I skipped the moon challenge because it's mostly about money. There is a crate that I think maybe has some bombs in there, but I end up with plenty of bombs in this run. I have gotten cursed by this guy before. He's actually one of the dangerous things, the witch doctor right there, in this run. So yeah, I have to be very careful with him. There's another witch doctor and a skeleton over here as well. And I'm bombing up there because Parsley is up there, and this is the best way to get around the moon challenge in order to get to Parsley. So we're going to rescue Parsley because we want to rescue all three sisters, because I'm going to get plenty of bombs on this run. And yeah, again, these are levels that I have practiced many times. I probably got here like at least a dozen times. And the damsel, there's a shopkeeper at the end of this level, and so I don't remember what I end up doing with the damsel here, and I don't remember what I end up doing with the shopkeeper. Okay, I do just end up killing the shopkeeper. Sometimes I go for more blood, and so I'm probably going to rescue the damsel here. I don't remember exactly what I did in this particular time around. I think I've only whipped the damsel once, so I can whip him again here. Yeah. So I got 2 bits of blood out of the damsel. And now he's back home, so that's great. Okay, and then Parsnip is over here on the left, so we need to remember to come save her before moving forward. And then, yeah, I think in the previous episode I died to this Tiki Man, so we gotta make sure that we actually shoot him in the back and he doesn't start throwing boomerangs at us. Same thing with this Tiki Man, although he has a lot more space to walk around, so it's much easier to end up behind him. Witch Doctor there also can potentially curse you from afar if he sees you, so you gotta be careful with that. But yeah, I've gotten very familiar with this level. Honestly, this ended up being not quite as good of a seed as I thought it was going to be. There's a number of difficult things on this level. For some reason I thought I had the Pitcher's Mitt here. I was trying to blow up the black market entrance and I accidentally hit the shopkeeper. So then I come over here and actually open up the black market entrance, which is right there, and I almost let that boomerang guy turn around and see me. So that was pretty scary, honestly. Alright, black market. I've become to know some useful strategies, one of which is blowing up the street. Happen to hit the shopkeeper. But the big thing is it allows shopkeepers who are coming from the right to get over to the left and start killing them on those spikes, just like these 2 shopkeepers are going to do. Sometimes I think 4 shopkeepers end up coming up there. I waited for a little bit of time on this one, and the other ones didn't seem to be coming. So I started coming back down very carefully, just to try to look around, and did manage to find some more shopkeepers doing some things. Damsel Doggy sadly got killed over there. But now here's an example where the tree's gone, and so the shopkeepers are easily able to move over to the left and kill themselves over there. So there's still... I'm still not sure if there's like 9 shopkeepers in this level, or 7, or something like that. I was trying to keep count, and I should really learn to do that better. But in any case, I think we've already seen 4 or 5 of the shopkeepers die. So I think the remaining shopkeepers are on the bottom. Yeah, maybe there's 7 shopkeepers and we've seen 5 of them. Yeah, that would make sense based on the shops. Okay, and another one just died there. So that would be 6 shopkeepers dead. No, maybe there's 8. Because I think there's still going to be one more that I encounter over here. There's the one stuck in the cobweb, and then here's a surprise. That was the surprise. Maybe he got out of the cobweb? Because the one in the cobweb is dead. No, he must have been from somewhere else. In any case, the important thing is I got out alive, I got my head jet, I got some extra bombs and ropes, and we get to continue into 2-4, where we need to rescue Parmesan. And I've discovered the best way to do this, I do want to get the royal jelly from Queen Bee. I have, I think, 19 hearts going into this level. I end up taking a bit of damage from the bees. Probably a little bit more than I needed to, but I think I still end up turning a profit. So Parmesan is right over there, and Parmesan actually connects to the backside bees. So that's where we are headed. And there was a bee sneaking up on me, and so I end up having to stop to kill a bee before I rescue Parmesan. Huh? There we go. And then Queen Bee very kindly kind of like came down somewhere convenient on the bottom, as if I recall correctly. Yeah, she's kind of stuck over there, and so that made her easy to kill. And then I could go click that, and now I've got 24 hearts, which is pretty great. Okay, so we got 24 hearts, 24 bombs, 19 ropes, jetpack, both shoes, the glasses, the pitcher's mitt, and the compass. There's a couple of shopkeepers who can get me over here. One of them I can shoot pretty easily. If I do that, I wake him up. But on this particular run, I was having trouble actually getting rid of this shopkeeper. I don't remember what I ended up doing. It'd be nice if I could like see more of what was happening off screen, but he wasn't jumping into the spikes, and the shopkeepers move just fast enough that the various spike traps here don't tend to get them. You can kind of witness it happening right here. And so I forget if I ended up firing another bullet at this guy. There is a outpost with like 3 shopkeepers. Yeah, look at this. It's just kind of a pain in the neck. Alright, he finally died. There's an outpost of 3 shopkeepers just to the right of the exit over here. And that's because I've killed so many shopkeepers. But I'm able to just get past. Olmec. I'm going to speed this up because it took me forever. I think I mentioned Olmec is the place that I died the most. Usually on the 2nd form, although occasionally on the 3rd. I'm trying to not spend many bombs because I wanted to go to a new place and I wanted to have lots of bombs available to me as resources if I did so. And so I'm trying to get him to explode as much as possible so that I don't have to spend many bombs. Alright, so he's already started blowing some stuff up on the lower floors. But now I've gone ahead and sent him down here. And I've gotten better at controlling exactly where he is while I'm standing on his head. The UFOs, by the way, can be a real pain in the neck. Because if you stand right near the center, while he's in midair, you can switch between like the left half of the center and the right half of the center and kind of steer him a little bit. I had a couple of close calls with Olmec. And I was trying to use the UFOs to kind of explode out more of the holes so that I wouldn't have to end up using any bombs. There's another close call where he almost managed to squish me. But yeah, I was having trouble getting through this last little bit. And so I think at some point over here I finally get frustrated and use a bomb or two. Almost died again right there. Alright, so somewhere around here. I was trying to steer him into that hole and couldn't quite do it. I accidentally placed a bomb on top of him, and then finally got a bomb on the bottom row. So now I can get through here. Again, not caring about money, and so I don't go after all the little golden beetles. I get the Ankh, got a parachute. We can rescue Damsel Doggy, and I am still trying to get as much health as possible, just in case it helps. I'm shooting all these little bugs, just so that I can get the extra blood out of them. Almost ran out of jetpack fuel, trying to fly back up to Damsel Doggy up here. But the jetpack is good enough to get you up there. I've checked that crate that's up there before, and it's just another parachute, so I don't need it. And now we'll go back to regular speed. The thing I wanted to do was to try to sacrifice myself while I have the Ankh in the City of Gold on the giant Kali altar, because it has lots of Ankh symbols. So that is the goal of this run. I'd only made it into the temple once or twice before, I knew that there was a bunch of crocmen around who were going to make things dangerous, and so I ended up playing things very carefully through here. Anubis is in a good spot that makes him easy to kill, and I will be using his scepter to kill the shopkeeper at the end. There's a crocman over here that I need to not look at me. Yeah, right over there to the right. So I need to kind of time things well so that I can sneak up behind him when he's not looking. And then there's the shopkeeper who's just going to die. And then after the shopkeeper is dead, we'll be able to advance to the next level. Alright. And I kind of forgot for a minute. I was thinking about what I needed to do. There were two things. One was routing through this level, and the other was when it comes time to die, I wanted to set down my jetpack in case I could preserve it. So we'll see that on the next level. My brain finally kicked in and I remembered I don't go to the left, I go to the right over here in order to get down. And it's dangerous to use the scepter against various bad guys, so I was trying to use it as little as possible on this level. There are a number of those, I forget what those women are, who jump up into the air and summon bad guys. And then obviously there's these crushy traps, which are always a threat. And so I was having to be very careful with them as well, trying to bait them out intentionally so that they would be in places that I didn't need them to be. And so when possible, there are times where rather than even try to kill some of these enemies, I'll just try not to interact with them and just go right past. There is the sun challenge, which at some point, especially when I have a jetpack, I do want to try out. I hadn't gotten this far before this run. No, that's not true. I did get here once. But it was definitely hard to get through that door. But now we're at the City of Gold. This is the Bigkahuna. This is the whole reason that I was choosing to replay the same seed over and over, is because I wanted to try this out, and on random seeds it was just getting to be too tough to consistently get here. But there is the Kali altar in the center. It has a giant Ankh pictured above it, and so what I wanted to do was kill myself there. So I'm going to take off my jetpack, because I figure when I get resurrected at the beginning of the level, I'll be able to go put it back on, or at least that was my thinking. I forgot that I had a parachute, so the parachute saved me the first time. But if you ever find yourself stunned on the altar, you sacrifice yourself. But watch what happens. I turn into like a Gist ghost and just transfer across time and space to another place. So, this is all new to me. I pull up the journal entry. It's before the ice caves. It's the Duat, a desert of ash and fire burning between an eternal blood moon, the domain of the god Osiris. Never seen this place before. Think I might have seen a video thumbnail that suggested this place exists. So now I'm just on, like, high alert. I desperately want to stay alive. And I do want to kill things and get them in my journal. And I do have a bunch of bombs. One of the reasons that I was trying to preserve bombs was so that if I got to a new place, I could use them to stay alive. Amit, terrifying underworld demon who eats the heart of unclean souls, causing them to die a second death. Alright. Whatever. Some kind of crazy dog here in this realm. There's a number of interesting things that we'll see in this place. Obviously, there's kind of spooky smoke on the side that I saw that I was going to try not to touch, because I wasn't sure what would happen to me. I was glad that I had the jump boots since we no longer have the jetpack. I wonder if I had died with the jetpack on during my sacrifice, if I would have kept it. I'm not sure if I would have or not. I think in the original Spelunky, you'd always lose backpack items. But yeah, there's like a crazy moon out there, and there's some other craziness that's going to come. There's these little eyeballs in the background, and now there's this guy, a Pep, great snake god who slithers tirelessly through Duat with scales of flint and a stomach full of hot ash. He just seems to go back and forth and maybe like spitting some fire or something. I'm not exactly sure. I was trying to throw a bomb at him, and then I almost killed myself. Notice what happens to my ropes there. So it turns out, it took me a little bit of time to figure this out in this level, that your ropes can only cling on to backgrounds, and there's a lot of places where there's no background at all, and we're just seeing like the sky and parallax behind the level. And so you can't put ropes there. Okay, I finally managed to hit him with a bomb, and it didn't blow him up. He's still alive, and it didn't even look like it damaged him, so I'm not even sure if I can kill that guy. So yeah, there's another case. Now I finally understand what's happening with the ropes, and I almost just died there probably. So we're lucky to still be alive. I've still got 5 hearts. So I'm trying to plan what it is I'm going to do now. And I come to the decision that what I need to do is to try to go to the right past the snake in order to advance through the level, since I can't use ropes to get up. And sure enough, I managed to get over here. And there's a pushy block, so I can get around. But now I need to find a way that I can progress again. It looks like up and right, and I accidentally touched the side over here. Wasn't planning to do this, and it goes bloop. It stunned me, but it didn't hurt me. So, this time I managed to climb the rope successfully. And I was worried about running out of time at this point, because it's already 2.5 minutes, and so I was worried about the ghost arriving at some point soon. I saw that crazy dog thing again that eats the hearts of something. And I decided to stomp on him. One stomp didn't kill him. It just seemed to anger him, so I threw the bomb at him just to make sure that he was going to go. Looks like there's a Kali altar down there, and I didn't even try to inspect it. But I continue the ascent. At this point, I don't think I noticed that 3 minutes had already passed and the ghost wasn't here. But I got up here and then this happened. Journal entry added. It looks like some kind of new super boss, or 2. And I think I missed one of the journal entries, but we'll get a chance to see it in a moment, because look at that! Dun dun dun! Journal entry added. It's Anubis too! Having been defeated at the temple, Anubis returns to the underworld to beg forgiveness of his father Osiris. And Osiris, the ruler of Duat, the ultimate judge of souls who make their way to him. Okay, so we killed Anubis with a couple of bombs. There was also like a casket that fell out of the sky. So I try throwing bombs at his hands, and it doesn't seem like they're dealing any damage. It doesn't seem like he's taking any damage from that. If I get below him... Oops, okay, I just took some damage. Oh, and this guy. This darn guy. Okay, at this point, you know, like, I'm panicking because I've gotten super far, and there's things happening, and then I run into the side, and I get stunned, and I get cursed. Oh, no! But I'm still trying to understand what's happening with Osiris. And I was trying to diagonally throw a bomb that stuck on his head. Oh, that did work. Okay, so his hands kind of guard his head. I don't think I ever realized this one works probably too as well. Yeah, I think that dealt some damage to him. But I wasn't noticing during the run that the bombs were dealing damage. So I was like, what else should I try? I realized that if I was low enough, his hands didn't try to stomp me anymore. And I think at this point I also realized that the time was not like running in terms of the ghost appearing or something like that. So I was like, okay, let's try ropes. And I saw blood come out of him when I threw the rope at him. So I was like, aha, this is dealing damage and I have 16 ropes. Let's see if I can just start hitting him with a bunch of ropes. So, ropes. And at this point, I don't think I even noticed that while the ropes were dealing damage to him, once again, since there is no background in the sky for the ropes to attach to, the ropes were dropping as item entities back down on the ground. Later on, I will discover this and discover I can go pick them up again. But now I'm low enough that his fists are not trying to stop me, so if I just kind of wait as he goes back and forth, I can repeatedly hit him with more ropes. And it appears to be doing damage. Of course, I'm cursed at this point, so any damage I take is going to kill me. But yeah, I was just determined to try to get as far as I could with this new place. So yeah, at some point I looked down and I was like, oh, there's a bunch of ropes down here. I can get these ropes. And so I do. And so now I have plenty of ammunition to use against him. And all of a sudden, his eyes turn colors, and he drops a journal entry. Tablet of Destiny. A cracked servant of wood, marked by the vortex, shall open the door for the aspirant. After this run, it didn't occur to me during, after this run I have an idea of where I could maybe use that, and then I saw the spiral thing, and so it looked like somewhere I wanted to go. So I jumped up there, and here I am, cursed, swimming through space, to a next level. That one was 4-4. I don't think I realized that before. Okay, so that's another 4-4. It didn't occur to me that that's where it was. And now I'm back in the ice caves. And yeah, I'm cursed. So I'm thinking to myself, what do I need to do in order to continue this run and do anything amazing? And I was like, well, if I can rescue the damsel, that would be great. I see the crate down here, so that demands my attention. The Moai head, I forgot to go over and walk to it to see if the tablet maybe interacts with that, because it does look kind of like there's a door over there. But I think I just didn't think about it, and I was focused on the damsel and trying to stay alive and stuff like that. So that is definitely something that I would want to try in the future. Yeah, I don't walk in front of the door, and I wonder if it somehow would have reacted to the fact that I have the tablet, or I might just be completely misguessing where the tablet's going to be used. But that's something I thought about after the run. Okay, so at this point, I'm just going to struggle to stay alive in the ice caves. And there's the dog. Okay, so there is... If I can get the dog rescued... Does that uncurse me? I'm thinking that uncurses me, but now that I think about it, if I could sacrifice the dog to Kali, I think that uncurses me. And I think I've gotten royal jelly before, and that uncurses you. I don't remember if simply rescuing the dog uncurses you. While I was playing this at the time, that was my plan. But now that I'm saying the words aloud again now, I'm not sure that rescuing the dog actually uncurses me, so I don't know that this would have helped me anyway. In any case, I need to be very careful because I can't afford to take any damage because I'm a one-hit kill since I'm cursed. And I do have the Pitcher's Mitt, and so I use the Pitcher's Mitt in order to kill the Mama Yeti, whatever her name is, Queen Yeti probably. And then I do want the extra time from the clover, and so I decided using a bomb is probably a good way. Hadn't really noticed until now that my bombs are getting low. And these bats. If I wasn't a one-hit kill, this would have been super easy. But the bats, I'm totally imagining ways that the bats are going to kill me, and I want to hold on to the dog, and I don't want to throw him, and possibly have the dog die, because I'm thinking the dog is still my ticket to getting uncursed. So I was trying to come up with a plan where I could kill King Yeti and kill the bats. And I decided, you know what, I need to get rid of one of these bats, so let me do it from above. So at some point over here, I'm going to use a bomb on the bat. I didn't notice that the other bat got killed by King Yeti's scream. If I'd realized that, that might have changed my strategy here. But I did this, and then I thought King Yeti was getting far enough over that then I could go and throw a bomb at him. And it did, so that's great. And I don't need to bother killing all these guys. Normally I'd be killing guys for blood, but since I'm cursed, I can't actually use the Kabbalah blood, I don't think, to get any benefit out of it. And I decide I have to throw bombs at these guys because I don't think I can make the jump over there. So I bomb those guys, and now we have to get the damsel to the exit. And I can make that jump, that's fine. But then I didn't see a way to go around to the right over here safely, so I decided the smart thing to do is to blow that thing up so that I have an exit to the left. I don't want to set off that trap, so we're just going to kind of continue jumping our way down onto the Yeti, which seems good. And then I was going to ride this thing down and ride it onto this guy's head, except for I didn't manage to ride it down, and also it didn't hit him in the head, and that's where the run ended. But I managed to accomplish a goal, which was get the Ankh to the City of Gold and die in Kali's altar. And then I somehow managed to get through that level and slay Osiris and get a tablet. So one mystery has been solved and another mystery has presented itself, which is what to do with the tablet.